Hi, my name is Iris and I'm with Barcoding and Barcoding Canada. We are a supply chain automation innovation company helping you be more efficient, accurate, and connected. And with me today is Mark Dessommes from Honeywell. And Honeywell is a productivity solutions and service business that creates mobile computers, printers, and data capture devices that improve worker productivity in thousands of companies of all sizes around the world. Honeywell helped pioneer the barcode scanning market in the 1970s, and over the years, its new innovations have helped retailers and distribution centers, transportation and logistics, and healthcare organizations achieve significant improvements in efficiency, speed, and accuracy in their operations. So again, Mark is not new to our content and our YouTube channel, but for those of us who are just joining us on the kitchen, Mark, please do introduce yourself.
Yes, hey, I'm Mark Dessommes here. I'm with Honeywell. I've been around in this business for getting close to 25 years. And currently I am responsible for the products that are sold into the warehouse and distribution center in US and Canada.
Awesome. And like I said, Mark is not exactly new to our content. You can actually find more of him on this channel and our panels and also our huddle videos. So if you're watching the kitchen and excited about the future of mobility by Honeywell, then you know a lot of the pain points and challenges we experienced pre and post COVID have not changed. They're persisting. And that's why the future is now. So things like, staff retention, customer expectations on the rise, the technology being in demand by younger workers, and leadership now also demanding better data of their operations. We are just seeing a lot of compounding pain points in the supply chain. Mark, did I miss anything there?
No, you did a great job setting this up.
Awesome. So I'm just going to go into the thick of it because that's why we're here. So there seems to be a lot of excitement about wearable computers, especially with the younger generation of workers. Can you explain why?
Yeah, I mean, if you understand and studied the millennial group, which I've done a little bit, I actually have a couple of millennials kids. They have unique needs, particularly around technology. One of the things they don't like are my son's favorite term is annoying. They don't like things that get in the way of progress. If it does, it's annoying. That's why wearables are such a nice fit for this group. So let me give you an example of annoying. So this is our CK65. This has been our best-selling device forever. And the way typically people use these is that they look at the screen. It tells them to go to a certain spot. They get to that certain spot, they scan a location barcode, then it tells them to pick 4 or whatever. They'll either scan the product SKU and type in 4 or scan 4 SKUs. And then they got to take these boxes and put them on a pallet. Now, to do that, they got to do something with this. They got to put it under their arm and then do it. They got to put it in a holster. They got to put it down. That is annoying, according to my millennial son.
That is very annoying.
Yeah, and it takes up time and it impacts productivity. So let's talk about wearables. All right, I'm going to put this one on. This is our CW45. It's relatively new. I'm just going to put this on real quick. This is virtually the same thing with this when you add a scanner. So what I do is tap to pair. I pair this scanner with this device. Now what happens? I look at my computer, says go to a particular place in the warehouse. I scan a location barcode and it says pick 4. I scan a product code and just start picking. I don't have to do anything with the gear. That's one of the beauties of wearable technology. It eliminates an annoying step in the process. A little bit about our wearable technology. This is our CK75. I'm sorry, not our CK75. This was our CK75. This is the 8675. This is our ring scanner. It comes in 2 different flavors of scan engine. It comes in a standard range, which is about arm's length, but you can also get a flex range engine, which scans about 30 feet. What's cool about that is you can scan say from your fork truck. You drive up to a location, you're in your fork truck, you don't have to get out and walk over, you can hit it straight from the fork truck. That's new to wearable scanning technology. What's also neat about this device is that battery is easily replaceable, unlike some of the other options out there. If you don't like the ring, we got a glove, which moves
Well,
the weight
that is
a little bit.
cool.
Yeah, if you don't like the glove, we got a lanyard, and you can take this, put it on your belt, you can wear it around your neck, and it retracts. It just depends on what the operator's like. All you do is you snap this off this ring, you snap it onto this, you snap it off this, you snap it onto this, and then the scan button's right there. So this is all the exact same device. It's just different accessories that tie to it. So that's what makes our ring scanner cool. By the way, I have the CW45, which we're going to talk about in a second, on my right arm, and the scanner on my left arm. That's the way I like it. I like having what little weight there is spread out across both arms. Some people prefer to have everything on one arm, but I like them separated. Also, I like the glove the best. The glove is the most comfortable. So if this was the perfect world and I had all the right accessories at my desk, which I don't right now, I would have a left-handed glove in this particular device. These gloves, by the way, come in all different kinds of sizes. And so it's very important to make sure you have the right size glove on the right person. All right, let's talk for a second. I'm going to take the glove off now. Let's talk for a second about the CW45. This is a device that was designed from the ground up to be a wearable device. It's not a retail terminal or just some sort of barcodes data collection device that we decided to snap on an armband. You can see the battery here is different, pops right off. The armband is really unique in that it's got two different points here that you can adjust the tightness of the band. You see a lot of armbands out there that have one adjustment point, and what that basically means is that this top one is probably a little too tight, and this bottom one is a little too loose because arms are a little bit bigger up here than they sort of taper down. To tighten, you just go. So I'm just making it tight. So it's perfect tightness on both the top and the bottom, so it stays on real well. And so another neat thing about this, huge screen, much bigger screen than some of the alternatives out there. And there are 3 function keys here. So if you need to move around your application or you want to call up very specific keyboards for specific parts of the application, you can just by touching one of these function keys. If you don't want to use a virtual keyboard, which you can program yourself, we actually have a little keyboard here you just attach on the side of this thing. So millennials love technology that helps them do their job better. They also love cool technology, which is this right here. They love wearing this stuff. I see them, they smile when they get it. They're off to the races. This is for people my age, something like this. Folks younger tend to like it. And again, this is for specific applications. There are definitely applications where a device like this is preferable, but if it's a picking application for sure, these are the devices that you're going to want to use. One other sort of side note, ProMat is our big event, and I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. I was in the booth at ProMat, and I was decked out in our wearable devices. For the first time in my life, I was the popular kid at the party. All the customers wanted to come talk to me. They wanted to understand wearables. They've been hearing the buzz. They've bitten. They love the whole concept. They get it. They get that they can save 6 seconds per pick. So they were all over me and my wearable technology, and went at all kinds of questions, and we're really excited. And we've had a lot of luck getting these things out there and selling them.
And aside from it being Instagrammable, looking cool, and TikTokable, you also have to know that anytime you have a mobile computer and you're doing this, you are wasting seconds. And those seconds, they add up. And then at the end of the day, you could have wasted minutes, which may not seem like a big deal, but then as you kind of think about like the big picture, it becomes a very big deal, especially for your bottom line, and especially in a warehouse.
And one other benefit of wearables, sometimes I'll use this and I'll put it down and I'll do my pick and I'll drive away. Oh, crud, I forgot my device. Where is it?
Where did it go? Who
This
had it
isn't going
last?
anywhere. It's stuck on me. I can't get rid of it. And so that's another benefit to these devices. And by the way, this is easy to switch from left to right. If you want to wear it on your right hand, all you got to do is that, turn that around, and now it's a right-handed scanner. This also switches from left to right easily. Again, this comes in different sizes, and this glove comes in different sizes. One final thing, I'm sorry I'm spending so much time on this stuff.
No,
But
it's okay.
really
It's a
cool.
cool device. So
This glove here, this bottom part here, is really the business end of the glove. It's what goes on the palm. It's what's going to break down first. And again, these are meant to last for a long time, but the bottom parts are more, I guess you could say, consumable. It's connected to the primary components via snaps. And so you can buy a bag of these little straps here and replace this bottom part without having to replace the more expensive top part. And when I say the top part, this part right here, which has the electronics in it. It's also a breakaway. So if this thing were to get snagged on something, these two snaps come undone. There are alternative gloves out there that don't have that component to them, and they get expensive pretty quickly, and they're not necessarily breakaway. All right.
So Mark, very
Yeah.
quick question. You know, like in warehouse environments, it can be kind of rugged, is the
Yep.
term. How would these devices hold up
These
in
are
like a more rugged environment?
these are very rugged devices. This has got Gorilla Glass. I mean, these are made to be beaten up. They all kinds of, if you, I don't want to bore you with the specs, but we do drop specs, we do tumble specs, we do all kinds of specs to determine how well these things are going to hold up. And they're made to be used in warehouses and distribution centers, nasty warehouses and distribution centers. We build them for the worst types of environments. And so that's our bread and butter, rugged and reliable devices. So it's going to hold up great. Not just the device themselves, but the accessories.
Awesome. So we talked about how these are the types of devices preferred by younger workers, but I would argue that most workers would prefer this because it looks very comfortable, it's easy to use, and it just cuts down on like a
really
lot of
does.
the
It really
downtime
does.
and things like that. So, you know, I'm gonna say, do you think younger workers or just workers in general, those who are, you know, in that kind of environment, um, do they have a distinct technology preference? And what are you seeing around the preferences in devices used in warehouse at DCs?
So that's a great question that we've been struggling with internally. So again, this is our CK65, been around forever. People love this device. It's still our best-selling device, but what we're finally seeing now is that growth curve is starting to flatten out. And the reason is because the younger generation, they like using devices that they're familiar with. And what are they familiar with? They're familiar with devices that look like this.
Mm-hmm.
This has no keys, this does. This is our CT47. This is our latest device. It is made for transportation and logistics, but it's durable enough to be used in warehouses and DCs. And so what I encourage people to do is give people an option. Hey, you want this or do you want this? And you'll find half the organizations will go with this one. And then the younger folks are going to go with this one because this is what they're familiar with. The nice thing is you can get a handle with it. It has all the same scan engines as this one. So if you need to scan extra long distance, this does it fine. And people go, yeah, Mark, I get it. You're saying it's rugged, but it's not as rugged as this. Well, it really is. Especially if we have a little boot you can put around this. When you do that, it's almost identical in durability. But this thing is overbuilt for warehouses and DCs from a durability standpoint. This will be absolutely fine. Comes with the same warranties, and you can get the same service plans. And so it's absolutely a device that's taken off in the warehouses and DCs. What's happened in the past is that the scan engines on these devices to scan long range were too big for this type of device. And so we've been able to shrink that technology down. So now it fits into it. So it's not a whole lot thicker and bigger than an iPhone, but I guarantee it's a lot more rugged. It also has a replaceable battery, all the things that folks like in the warehouses in DC. It's also 5G. for those of you that are thinking about 5G, that's another benefit of this particular device. This is a CT47. Again, super rugged, Gorilla Glass. There's a great video floating around the internet of this thing. Someone drops it 50 times on the concrete, and it's like, drop, pick it up from 8 feet, drop, pick it up, drop, pick it up, drop, pick it up. And it kind of gives you, and you can kind of get an idea. If it can survive back to back to back to back 50-time drops on the concrete in a matter of minutes, it's built to survive anything you can throw at it in the warehouse.
So suffice to say, this is all about the user experience, right?
Mhm.
So it's about how they prefer to use it. And like you said, the handheld, more rugged, bigger CK65, it's kind of like the belle of the ball. From
Yeah.
my experience, that's what our customers like, and that's what they gravitate towards. But we're starting to kind of see a shift towards a need for like a lighter device. So like I said, user experience, you have more productive workers, you're gonna do better in your business. So we're gonna move away from a little bit from the warehouse workers and talk about IT. There's a lot of pressure on the IT organizations that support warehouse and DCs to kind of keep things simple, as simple as you can get, especially when it comes to data collection devices. So what is Honeywell doing to help here?
Yeah, and to support what you just said, I read something the other day from IDC research that said that the average cost for IT staff to deploy a single device is about $700. And so it gets expensive real fast, and traditionally it's been rather labor intensive. So here's what we do, which is really, really, really cool and important for people to understand. We have this thing called Mobility Edge. And what Mobility Edge basically is, we're using, there's common technology and common software used across all of our core devices. So in essence, this is the same thing as this, it's just in a different box. This is the same thing as this, it's just in a different box. These are all the same devices. In the past, people would go, you know what, I understand this is probably a cool device for a very particular application, but I can't afford to learn all these new devices and how to condition them, how to configure them and how to install them and all that. I just want this. Well, you can have your cake and eat it too now with Mobility Edge, because if you know how to get around this, you know how to program this, you can program this, and you can program this. So in essence, from an IT perspective, these are all the same devices. And we also, our vehicle mounts are part of that family, the Mobility Edge family. So you can validate all your mobile devices and use cases and software just once, and then deploy across all of our devices. It makes things a lot faster and easier and lower cost. That one-time investment in setup and deployment is reusable across all your devices.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so I've been recently in a situation where the warehouse manager wanted just this, and the operators got wind of this, and there was a heated conversation in that meeting about the fact that they're being mandated this when half of them want this. And it ended up that I explained to them Mobility Edge, it's the same device, don't worry about it. And the warehouse operator ended up allowing both of these into his facility. It was pretty interesting. It was pretty much textbook what I've been saying.
That's pretty funny. Like you said, it's really the same thing, but kind of like in a different form. And like I said, the customers, they like what they like. And that's because for so many years, that's really what they used. So, but you'll see with a younger generation or younger workers that they're not afraid to learn new technology, especially with what you just said. It doesn't sound like training or onboarding is going to be that long. It really is just the same device. So,
and that's key. They don't want to spend a lot of time in training. They want a device that's intuitive. You can just get the ground and running. They're like, just give me it, and then they're off. And that's what they want. And I get it.
Well, exactly right. So my next question is, with a younger generation of workers, right? And we talked about the labor shortage and the lack of labor resources, and we have higher customer demands. Do you think something like this could actually retain a younger generation of workers?
You know, back in the day, these warehouses would they get some whiz bang cafeteria, some great cafeteria, and they'd use that as a selling point. And then they got that new gym, they'd use that as a selling point, and then they'd pay as much as they could afford. Now all that stuff is table stakes. I think technology is the primary way to differentiate now. And I tell our own sales reps, if you walk into a facility and all they got is this, that's a golden opportunity to have a conversation about employee retention. How good are you at attracting employees? How good are you at retaining them, especially younger ones? And if they say, it's a problem, then you start talking about stuff like this. Hey, look, I can give you some stuff to help you. And technology is absolutely, in my mind, a key differentiator these days.
So the pro tip is it's not the new ping pong table.
Right.
That's what you're
That's
telling me.
exactly it. And yeah, although they're nice, I like ping pong. Don't get me wrong, but no, they just they want products that are going to help them do their jobs faster and easier, and they like cool stuff too.
And that's, I think, the true future of mobility by Honeywell is that we are helping people do their jobs easier. There's less frustrations, there's less burnout.
Yeah.
And at the same time, you're going to see these improvements in your bottom line of getting things done faster. And that warehouse agility that we always talk about is, what is that? Well, this is exactly what it is technology helps you achieve warehouse agility. So, okay, so Mark, you have us sold. Okay, so what is the next step for those of us now thinking about digitization or bringing that kind of automation into our warehouses?
You know, I think when you're asking a warehouse group to change the way they do something, you have to give them options. These younger folks like to be part of the solution. They like to be part of the decision process. They don't like being mandated. And so what I recommend to folks, if they're wanting to make a change in the type of devices, give them the options. If the application requires a handheld product, bring in options. Don't just say this is what you're going to use and love it. If it requires, and you want to move from a traditional barcode scanner like this to a wearable barcode scanner like these, don't just bring in this, because they may not necessarily like things on their fingers. And the application may require them to use their fingertips because it's like an each pick type application. Bring them this too. And then for those that don't want anything on their body, bring in all three and let them decide which devices they want to use. The cost is the same. And flexibility and having them be part of the decision process and getting ownership before you make a change, getting the folks rallied around this new technology and excited about it, presented as an option versus a mandate, that seems to allow folks to move from something where they currently are to something where they want to go the fastest and easiest.
That's exactly it. It's always people first and then technology second. And of course, you come to people at barcoding who love our Honeywell products. We have a very long partnership with Honeywell. So if you come to experts like us, we can absolutely help you. We don't just present to you, hey, you should buy this. We always let you know that you have options, like Mark said. And bringing your workers to make that decision is going to be a game changer of the way that they see their work, they see their contribution. And like I said, you're going to see results pretty much automatically, right?
Yeah, I mean, it may be clear as anything that this is the best solution for the application, but you got to let your operators figure that out themselves.
Exactly. So I have a off the charts question for you, Mark. This is going to be a surprise question. We're talking about automation. In your life, if you can automate one thing and one thing only, what would you automate?
In my life?
Yes.
I'm thinking about my life. like my personal life and everything.
Yeah, life, work,
I would love for somehow for the dishes to get out of the dishwasher onto the kitchen cabinets automatically. Something that I don't have to take the dishes out of the dishwasher. I think that's what you're asking, but
yes, that is what
that's
I'm
the bane of
asking.
my
Yeah.
existence, because apparently no one in my family has ever learned how to take dishes out of a dishwasher except me. And so I'm stuck with that job.
So you see automation,
Yes,
automation in the
um,
warehouse,
a robot
automation at
putting
home.
plates, that'd be great.
Except in the warehouse, we have people like Mark and Honeywell
Yes,
to help you with that kind of automation. And Mark, unfortunately, I have no solution for you for
okay.
this.
We'll work on that if you could. I know you guys are into all kinds of crazy technology in bark writing, and so that would help me. I'll be
Yes.
your guinea pig.
So if any, innovators or inventors are watching this is free. This is a free idea for you from Mark. Well, I just want to thank Mark for joining us at Supply Chain Kitchen. Again, this is not the only piece of content we have from Mark. He is dotted along our YouTube page, so be sure to subscribe if you like content like this and you want to hear from subject matter experts from Mark, from partners like Honeywell. Thank you again, and we hope you got what you came for.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.